السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. في لقاء جديد مع بنت النور أستضيف كاتبة رائعة عام من دولة بوتسوانا. إنها الكاتبة كيليتسو. هي صحفية وناشطة أيضا، وتحب الحديث كثير في المواضيع المرأة والقضايا الاجتماعية كثيرا. يسعدني استضيفها اليوم في لقاء سريع قبل بدء المحاضرة، لذلك نحن على عجل فنبدأ هذا اللقاء. Good morning.
Good morning, Salma. How are
أين
you?
Hari?
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. Let me to start with you. You are a journalist.
Yes.
And you are a writer.
Yes.
You can tell me first thing about your childhood and why you choose to be a journalist and writing.
Okay. My name is Keletso, Thobega. I'm from Botswana, based in Gaborone. I grew up in Botswana, and I grew up as an only child.
Wow.
And
I think that's advantage or not?
yeah, I was really well looked after. And I come from a literary family, come to think of it. I have two uncles who are writers.
Wow.
And most people in my family are lawyers, teachers. And we have a background of writing and reading, just a passion that we share within the family and across our
some kind of
relatives.
genetic.
I know, it's a genetic thing because everybody's always into books and writing. So I think I grew up in an environment where books were easily accessible to me. There was a library at home, and I went to a school where reading was encouraged. So when I started reading, when I learned how to read and I started reading, I realized that I love reading, I love stories. And I was a nerd, always in the libraries. I was always reading all these books. And as I grew up, I would write compositions in class, English. And the teachers would always praise me like, oh, you write good stories and whatnot. So it's something that I just grew up with. And then by secondary, I knew that I'd be a journalist because I'd been exposed to journalism. My grandmother used to send me to buy newspapers, you know, and we'd read. After reading them, she'd give it to me to read. And I realized that this is a world that I'd want to be immersed in, you know, storytelling. And I really enjoy the different stories that I read because they taught me what was happening outside the confines of our neighborhood, the confines of our town, especially because I was the only child, so I was sheltered. I wasn't allowed to go play outside or go up and down. So reading actually allowed me to engage with the world, to know what's happening out there. So that's just basically how it happened. I mean, I completed secondary school, went to tertiary. I mean, journalism was my first choice, and then they're like, yeah, come through. I aced the interview. So I think it's just one of those things. Anybody who knows me is not surprised that I'm a journalist. Like, yeah, okay. I mean, I was a bit of an introvert, so some people thought maybe accounting would do, but I'm more of a creative. So people who truly know me realize that yes, journalism is a good fit. And I worked in newspapers a lot because I'm an introvert. I didn't want to be in front. So people actually see my byline and they don't know how I look until most recently. Because everybody, sometimes they call him like, where is he? And they're like, oh, it's you. We thought you were a man. Because my name is unisex. So they don't know it's Keletso a lady, Keletso a guy. So some people thought maybe it's a guy or something. So it's always just like mysterious until recently, because now that the internet, people can Google search and they see, oh, okay, that's one. But it's been a very beautiful experience working in the media, being a journalist and also writing on the side.
Let me to ask you about your writing. What theme you prefer to write about it and why?
I think I've never really limited myself. I've just been a general interest person. I can write a crossboard. I can write something political. I can write something sports related. I can write something, you know, that kind of writing, and that's nonfiction. But when it comes to fiction, I think I like popular literature. I like works that are more modern, works that are relatable, that talk about real life experiences and really just, summarize the human and social condition. And when it comes to creative writing, in terms of fiction, I write flash fiction. I write stories that actually highlight people's aspirations and realities. I like stories that have, echoes of hope and resilience. And I really like highlighting human resilience because I feel like people are so resilient. So I like those kind of stories, and when it comes to flash fiction, that's really what I focus on.
Okay, can you tell us about your books you are published?
Okay. I have works in the Botswana Women Write anthology. It's an anthology from Botswana. It has more than 50 works from Botswana women writers.
Wow.
Yeah, letters, short stories, all sorts of things. It's a really classic find.
Yes,
You can find it online on Amazon.
Really? Okay,
yes. And then I have my own book. It's called Rebirth. I have to rework on it because I published in a rush and whatnot. Okay, so Rebirth is like a collection of anecdotes about people's journeys and spiritual resilience, because I think sometimes in life we focus so much on the material, we focus so much on mental wellness, physical wellness, but we neglect the spiritual element. So it was about telling people stories, because I used to have a column in one of the newspapers. It was called the Midweek Sun, and my column was called Sun Inspiration. So I'd go out there and find stories about people, challenges they've overcome, or maybe somebody successful, to share their stories. And I found that all of them had some level of spiritual resilience. So I really shared those stories to inspire people to be more positive and try to create a very healthy relationship with whatever deity they might believe in, and nurture the spirit, because the spiritual element is very important in life. So it's a book that I hope to promote with time, but I'm also working on other things. I also want to publish my flash fiction collection. Hopefully the end of the year. I'm still looking for a good editor, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll have it out.
Let me ask you about the social media. How you see this impact for us, you as writers?
I think social media has made it easy for people to share their work, and create a readership, something that we didn't have with traditional publishing, because you have to incur a lot of costs to get your work out there. So now it's easier for people to share their work and get feedback and create a readership. It's also easier for writers to access opportunities for trainings and workshops, and to actually engage with other writers. So I think that social media has created a whole new spectrum for us, and it has really helped us to refine ourselves, because now we have access to different works. We know how we can improve. We have access to information. So I'm really anticipating that the new wave of writers will offer like better quality stories that are more relevant to the current readership.
I want to ask you, because you start reading from when you are still young. So now we have like ebook. What you still prefer? You still like the hard book as usual? If you are starting reading,
such an old soul.
Go to the ebook, like modern way.
I think I'm such an old soul. I want to hold a book and smell it and hold it, caress it, turn the pages. I love books, holding books and reading books. I mean, like, I do read ebooks, but then usually for the short stuff, when I'm reading flash fiction,
the problem. I buy the what's called it, the Kindle.
The Kindle,
but I didn't use it a lot. That's what I imagine. I bought out of my book.
Sometimes not user friendly.
I still use to write, really book.
I think when you really love books and writing, it's hard. It's difficult to let go of the physical book. But I think the advantage of ebooks is that we have a more diverse choice of things to read. So it's I guess it's a balance. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yes, I do. Let me ask you about if you want to give us any advice, because you're already a writer and journalist for a long time, and until now you are in that field. Give an advice for us.
I'd encourage journalists and writers, aspiring and established, to keep learning and unlearning, to keep improving, to open their horizons. It's important that you don't box yourself. You have to push boundaries. You have to see what else you can do, what else you can be. Because I think we grew up in societies and communities where we are dictated to how we should be, how we should behave. But you might realize that your potential is somewhere else. So it's important to always learn, to always read, to always engage with people. Any opportunity that you get to meet new people, to learn about different cultures and lifestyles, it actually enhances your personal development. And the one thing I'd encourage them to do is to have initiative. That's the most important thing. You have the talent, you have the passion, but talent and passion are not going to pay the bills. It won't take you anywhere. You can write, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm a good writer. Everybody can see you're a good writer. But what are you doing about it? So you have to take initiative. As a journalist, go to editors, knock on doors, send those emails, apply for those. It's hard work, I know.
I'm stuck in this system anyway.
I know it's hard work, but it's worth it because people are busy, and there's so many people out there. And look, nobody's gonna sleep and then wake up and like, oh, Salma, how do they know you? You know. So you need to go out there and show people this is what I have to offer, and try to be more confident and engaging. And the one thing that I think people struggle with is criticism. It's okay. Hold it, breathe in. You know, I know how offensive it is when you criticize people's work, like, oh, and some people really shut down. But I think it's important to have constructive criticism, to take it and use it to improve yourself. So that's the advice I would give.
I love your advice. It's really practical,
Very practical,
okay, just ask you about this workshop. Now we are meeting in Ghana, in Accra, for this workshop from Canis for creative writing. What do you think about it?
I think it's amazing. I mean, like, apart from the fact that we're in this beautiful place, it's been great to meet all these writers from different countries with different perspectives. And I enjoyed the sessions where we were reading each other's works because we got to understand each other's backgrounds and how we think. So I think it's a great workshop because it allows people to connect, to learn from each other, to learn from established people also, because they're facilitators or seasoned writers. So we get to learn from them and understand the business and side of publishing. Because sometimes as a writer you only think about the writing, the script,
really, I think like
just
that.
about writing.
Just writing.
But okay, you have your manuscript. What happens next? How does it get to the publisher? How much does the publisher take? How much are you benefiting? Because people think, oh, you have a good book, I'm going to be rich. It's not that easy. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of tears, a lot of rejections. So much goes on behind the scenes. So I think it was important for us to just, you know, take off the rose-tinted glasses and see things for what they are. So I think it was a very important workshop because it really, really helped us to refine our craft, but most importantly to understand the business side of writing and publishing, which is the most important thing. Because as much as you might be passionate about writing and you're writing for the love of it, you also need money from your work. So we got to learn about intellectual copyright, about contracts, the legal aspect, business aspect, how to use money and whatnot. So I found it very enriching. I don't think there's an opportunity that people get every day. I mean, you can read about it online, but it's not the same as when you have people who are experienced, who are actually telling you this is what's happening, this is what you can do, this is what you shouldn't do. You're getting advice from people who've gone through that process. So it was very important for us to just all be here. And I think it's a chance for us to find new avenues to share our work. And hopefully in the future we'll all work together. You know, I foresee anthologies, I foresee so many things. You know, when you bring creatives into one space, so much magic happens. So I see,
and it's happened,
I can feel the energy, I can feel the magic. So it was very amazing. I really enjoyed this opportunity. And meeting all of you, of course, with the cherry on top. It's amazing.
I love what you are saying when you say, like, behind any books we have tears and laughing and many emotions we didn't say to others people who don't know the speed of writing. So if you don't mind, you can share us like some situations or about your tears or your happiness moment you feel.
We need the whole day, y'all. We need the whole day. Look, I've faced my share of rejections in journalism, in writing. I think there was a time where I was like, do I really want to do this? Maybe I should have just been an accountant. Okay, maybe I should have just been an accountant, because I studied like 1 year of accounting. I'm like, maybe I should have just stuck with accounting. But you know what? I feel like art's generally something that is special and it's a calling. And every time, I'm going to tell you this, I know it sounds insane, but it happens. Almost every time when I think, okay, I'm just going to step out of this, a big opportunity comes.
Yes. It's like
just when I'm like, no.
You will stop?
I'm
take
like,
no chance.
I'm like, really, God? What are you doing? Like, is this some kind of joke? Every time when I feel like I'm just giving up, something big comes. So I think it's just important to be resilient, to hold on, to keep trying. I mean, there's so many writers out there, so you can't get everything. And I've been blessed in the sense that I've received opportunities that have helped me grow, that have accorded me the chance to travel, to meet new people, to get indispensable knowledge. Yeah. I mean, it's not everything, but those opportunities that I've got have value. So that's the most important thing. Just try to get things that have value, because it's more important than getting yeses. You can get so many yeses, but they don't have substance. So the most important thing is value, and you also need to keep improving yourself. Even when you get rejected, sometimes you have to ask them why. Why did you reject me? And maybe they can give you feedback that
why. I just keep silent.
Because you're like, how could you? No, but sometimes the constructive feedback does help. Then you know how to improve and whatnot. But the other thing that I've noticed is that there's so many opportunities out there, especially nowadays we are online. There's so many opportunities. So I have a system where I just apply randomly. Let's say 10, I send out 10 applications. I know that chances are I'll get 2 responses. And I'm always hoping that it's for something that has value. So I think it's just part of life. You win some, you lose some. You cannot be the best at everything. You cannot have everything. You just have to accept that. And it's okay to mope around and be sad, like, oh, I wanted that, but I didn't get it. But just try something else. Then maybe try for that opportunity again, or try with other opportunities. But rejection is part of life. And you move on, you cry. You cry moving on, bye. And the next opportunity, life goes on.
Yes, we should move on. I think I will thank you very much about this interesting and funny. It's really from just your heart. Andrea, I love it so much. Really, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
I know we have things we should to do now before our class is starting. Me and you, of course, So really, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. You're welcome.
أنا أتمنى أن تكون في رعاية الله. إلى اللقاء.